What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's TV review of Lovecraft Country Season 1, Episode 5, Strange Case. Before we begin, if you like my channel, cool, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. Hey, if you like this video, cool, hit the like button, as well as commenting below on any video to watch, including this one. So, that was a crazy episode. Strange Case was a very horrific episode in a lot of aspects of a mind and body situation. A lot of revelations happen. It's an episode that is dealing with people not comfortable in their own skin, trying to hide who they really are. And between Ruby and Montrose, it was a really fascinating episode with some really crazy body switching stuff, I guess you could say. And basically Ruby wakes up and she is a white woman named Hilary Davenport, and she freaks out. She's running throughout the town, and we get our first kind of racist moment where a young black kid tries to help her, and the police get involved and basically arrest the kid, but they save Hilary's character. And she basically, from William, finds out she has the ability to become a white female. And Ruby at first doesn't know what to do about that, and she takes him up on it, and she starts turning in this Hilary character, working at Macy Fields and stuff like that. And she, of course, comes across Tamara, who is the only black lady working in this department. And it's very much a look into a world where, for instance, I'll point out the Eddie Murphy sketch where he actually makes himself up to look like a white person. And that episode, or that sketch, was always funny, but it always had poignancy to it. And that's what is happening here. But she is starting to kind of take the idea of her becoming white a little too far. And it causes a rift between her personality and her idealism of being a black lady. And it was a really fascinating look into the idea of what would you do if you were on the other side of the coin. And she sees it through like the white people that work at the Marshall Field. I think Marshall Fields or Macy's or whatever it is. And she's trying to help Tamara, but she's seeing the kind of roadblock or wall that she is facing, and is mostly inflicted upon her boss, who is a very racist person who actually asks her a lot of racist questions. And I found that quite fascinating because, you know, when you have the ability to be on the other side of the coin, you start seeing the real problems of what somebody in that situation is being involved with. So Ruby Baptiste, as a black lady, would never get this level of, you know, satisfaction and so on and so forth. And throughout the episode, she changes back to Ruby when she needs assistance with, you know, William and, of course, Christina need her help and stuff like that. And then she transforms back and forth. And at the end, she gets kind of her just desserts, where she is basically playing Hilary or whatever her name is. And she basically does some really disturbing thing to her boss, who the night before she witnessed him trying to basically rape Tamara or a black lady or something like that. So some really offensive words, and Ruby gets her just desserts. What I really enjoyed about that is just to seeing the other side of the coin, seeing her expression, seeing his expression at the very end when she gets the upper hand, and watching her kind of come to this realization that herself is what she needs to be comfortable with, that people like her boss are never going to change, and her kind of what she does to him is a little wrong, but I get what she's going for. How she transforms in this episode is insanely disturbing. It's something like straight out like American Werewolf in London or something like that, where her skin as a white woman starts to peel away and tear away, like if you're ripping up. Actually, it reminds me of that Poltergeist segment where the guy is eating the chicken, all of a sudden his face, like he's like ripping off his face and stuff like that. It's that. I'm not going to put it in this video review because it's disgusting. But just to watch her like in pain and horror, to have to deal with the fact that she was it's almost like a metaphor for having to deal with the fact that she was a white woman. And just to see her transform back into Ruby is really kind of disturbing, but kind of poetic in a lot of ways. But like the transformation is so well done, it's so graphic and so good, so icky, like it will like make you kind of throw up a little bit. But at the very beginning, when she first transforms back into Ruby, we see William kind of like a stabber or something like that. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's really it's really well done and really kind of neat and kind of exciting and kind of just really cool to watch the transformation happen. It's what I like most when this episode and most when the series reaches into the aspects of magic and potions and stuff like that. So this kind of stuff you would never see in like a kids TV series, because the idea of the transformation is an ugly one. It really is. The idea of the racism, it's an ugly one, and it's really kind of cool to watch. And the revelation happens at the end. I'm not too happy about, for the simple fact that it was spoiled in the comments, I think on episode 4, where I didn't realize it. I wasn't really paying attention. People were apparently jerks. We find out that William is not actually a person. William is a transformed version of Christina. And it brings up a lot of interesting ideas about William being who he is and what Christina's end game is in this whole entire sphere of what she's doing. And we start getting kind of ideas that maybe she's like an outcast or feels like an outcast, and that she can transform into, William and stuff like that. And she has a really good kind of moment when she's talking to a very bloodied, Ruby, where she says, you can do whatever you want with this magic. That's what the point of magic is. You can be whoever you want. You can do it however you want. You can be free and all that stuff. And it's a really cool metaphor for, racism and stuff like that. But when we see William transform into Abbey in the same form and disgusting nature, it's like, oh, okay, that would have been cool if it hadn't been spoiled for me in the season 4 review that I did in the comments. But that's what it is. But anyways, it was a cool moment. It was cool to see that, Christina, the Abbey Lee character, has motives and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really fascinating to see what her character kind of does with Ruby, and how that kind of forms itself through the the next 4 episodes, or next 5 episodes. Next 5 episodes. Next episode is actually going to go back to Tick's past and stuff like that. So now the world as a whole, the secretive nature of same-sex relationships is something that doesn't bother me. Never has. And it's interesting to see Montrose, who had some history with, because he's Tick's father, or beaten Tick, stuff like that. There's a lot of abuse talk and stuff like that. When he is basically rushed off because Tick finds out that he killed the woman that was going to help them out. He goes to Sammy, which is the guy that we see in the alleyway and stuff like that, and we find out they're having a secret love affair. And it's a very... I read a review that someone posted like a few hours ago about this, and it's like the most realistic relationship, the most passionate relationship, because it really feels like these two guys, these two people are really, they really feel for each other, and it really does work. And I really found that kind of interesting and fascinating. There's a point where we see a bunch of drag queens and stuff like that, and it leads into the being comfortable in your own skin, because Montrose's character never really felt like a very comfortable character. I like what Michael K. Williams is doing here, but his character was never portrayed as someone really committed to his son, or really committed to the situation at hand. But when you watch the episode, you watch when Sammy turns into a drag queen, and they're at the I want to say like a ball or something like that, or they're there to like win, contests and stuff like that. When you see Sammy and Montrose embrace and a kiss and stuff like that, it's really passionate, but it's really kind of heartbreaking, really sad to see that Montrose he's kind of being torn apart in a very interesting manner, where he's done something really nasty and really bad, but he has someone who really cares about him. And just the moments that he has with Sammy and stuff like that it's really kind of cathartic in a lot of ways. And you really kind of feel that Montrose, there may be something that he is not telling us. And like I said, it's only a 5th episode, so they have to leave something to the imagination. But it was a really kind of, not really a surprise, just more of kind of a, okay, that's cool. I'm glad to see that there's something there. But he's going to have to pay for the fact that he killed that woman. And what is going to happen with that, we'll probably see in the later episodes. So that was a really nicely done segment. I really thought Michael K. Williams was doing a nice job. And I thought the guy who played Sammy was really, really exciting and stuff like that. So, and then it leads the kind of the not really main segment, but after Tick kicks Montrose out, we start getting this kind of into development, and we start getting this exploration into these symbols and numbers and stuff like that. And I felt this was a kind of a nice segue from the last episode where we got the papers and stuff like that. And, you know, Leti and Tick have to kind of figure out what this is going to be about. And then Tick comes to the revelation that these symbols and stuff has to do with his time in Korea. So when he calls the number to whoever the woman is he talking to Korea? Apparently that's the next episode. There's not really an explanation given, but there's a really kind of unique kind of what is happening. It's a kind of an interesting mystery box that is going to reveal itself to be some kind of very unique material, unique spectrums and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to see what's going on there. There's not much development in the aspect of, you know, Leti and Tick themselves, but the idea that there's something that's happening, that something happened to Tick in Korea with this woman to him facing here. I'm interested to see how all these pieces are going to eventually place itself on the chessboard to how we're going to see Tick and all that good stuff. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But the only other thing I really had to talk about that I found interesting is Ruby puts a little stone in the police chief's desk, and because the police chief comes in, she hides in the closet where there's a man who has like half his throat slit open. He has no tongue. He's just hanging from chains and stuff like that. And then we see like the chief of police take off his shirt. And he has like this weird, I don't know what is going on here. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but Ruby's like trying to hold the guy hanging from the chains from talking. And it's like, I don't know. It was really weird and disturbing, but it's this whole episode. This whole episode it's really strange and really disturbing, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. This isn't like a 9 out of 10 episode. It really is, because it has a lot of thoughtful moments. It has a lot of kind of curious wonders that is going on, and it's very thought-provoking in what it's trying to do. So when an episode can do that, when an episode's not a haunted house episode, it can really delve into the nature of what the series is trying to portray to us and the mysteries behind it, because every time there's something kind of solved, there's a little mystery piece kind of thrown out there, dangled in front of you. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. So episode is a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really well done, really well shot, really kind of compassionate episode with some really gnarly visual effects. So it's it was a good episode. So it's you can tell the series is starting to really truly hit its stride after the 4th episode. So but yeah, that's my take on Lovecraft Country, Season 1, Episode 5, Strange Case. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? Did you not like it? If you know more about the future of the series, please don't spoil it. I really would appreciate it, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, comment below, tell me what you think. If you like my channel, cool, hit that subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like this video, cool, hit that like button. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out.